Nuel Folktales.
There are two types of wives: the cool, calm, and collected ones who do not like stress in their homes. They choose peace at all times. And the other kind that we refer to as private investigators. They are detectives. They could detect if another woman is standing 4 meters around their husbands. They follow their husbands bumper to bumper, stalking them, checking their phones left, right, center. Ebun was the latter. Many years ago in the city of Abeokuta, there lived a beautiful girl named Ebun. She was a fresh girl with fine smooth skin, beautiful coffee brown eyes that sparkled when she smiled, and a figure that made heads turn. And she had a soft heart like butter and mashed potatoes. Ebun was a hairdresser with a thriving salon business in Abeokuta. Her life was perfect as it were. She had a good business with good customers that adored her. She had a great family and friends, and above all, she had a man in her life that she loved deeply. But everything soon turned upside down when her boyfriend, Taiwo, who she had been dating for 8 long years, suddenly dumped her for another girl because she didn't have a university education. Ebon was devastated, but that was not the worst. Taiwo got married the very next weekend to his new woman. When Ebu found their wedding photos on Instagram, she literally went mad. To cut the long story short, Ebun fainted that day and was rushed to the hospital. After that experience, Ebun never remained the same. It was like a few screws in her head got loose and she couldn't fix it back. Her soft heart was now hardened with a truckload of insecurities and trust issues. She swore off men, vowing to never love or trust any man ever again. But as fate would have it, a few months later, a handsome and gentle man named Anthony walked right into her life. Ebu met Anthony when he accompanied his elder sister to a salon to get her hair done. When Anthony saw Ebu and how skillful she was at her craft, he was intrigued. Ebu was not like the other local hairdressers he knew. She was different, as if she had a special PhD in hairdressing. She was neat and well put together and very polite. That day, they had just a brief conversation, but after that, Anthony kept coming around Ebun's salon every other day. At first, Ebun didn't want anything to do with him because of the heartbreak she had experienced. But Anthony was not the type of man to give up easily on what he wants. He was different from the other men that Ebun had been with. He was gentle, soft-spoken. He brought peace and stability into Ebun's chaotic world. He sweetly stated his intentions to marry her, and shortly afterwards they started dating. During their courtship, Ebu never revealed the jealous and insecure part of her to Anthony. She was the perfect girlfriend Anthony could have ever asked for. She was understanding and sweet, and before you know it, he put a ring on it, and in exactly 1 year after they met, they got married. The first few months of marriage was bliss for the couple. Everything was perfect, and they enjoyed their little bubble called marriage. But soon after, Ebu unleashed all her madness and insecurities she had bottled inside. The truth was that she didn't trust her husband Anthony. She was always scared that he was going to bring in another woman into their lives or cheat on her with a younger girl, just like Taiwo. So this time around, she decided to take matters into her hands. Once bitten, twice shy. The first thing Ebu did was to join a Facebook group that shared tips and tricks on how to catch a cheating husband. She had to be equipped to protect her man and marriage at all costs. Then Ebu got to work. Every night, Ebu would wait for her husband to fall asleep and then take his phone, use his finger to unlock the phone, and start her night shift. While other women were cuddling with their husbands, Ebu was wide awake and alert. Her eyes shining like that of a cat caught stealing fish, scrolling to her husband's phone, searching for what exactly? Ebun would search her husband's WhatsApp, Facebook, messages, and even LinkedIn to see if another woman was trying to steal a man. And every time, she wouldn't find anything out of the ordinary, but she still wasn't convinced that her husband was faithful. She couldn't help her insecurities. Every time Anthony got back from work, Ebu would run to him and hug him sweetly. But it wasn't to welcome her husband. It was to sniff his shirt to see if he had been with another woman. And as soon as Anthony takes off his shirt, she would scan every inch of the shirt and trouser to check for lipstick or eyeshadow stain or anything that belonged to another woman. One day, as Ebu was scrolling through the special group on how to catch a cheating husband, she stumbled on a post that said some cheating married men always had a second phone hidden in their cars where they chat and call their mistresses. Eh? So these men keep a second phone in their cars? That can be my Anthony. I will sniff him out if he tries it. Ebu muttered, "My husband is a good man. He cannot do something like that." She tried to tell herself, but her insecurities wouldn't let her see road. It wouldn't let her breathe and enjoy her marriage. That night, Ebu stayed awake like a village vigilante guiding the transformer from being vandalized by thieves. Her mind kept going back to that post she saw on the cheating husband group. She tried to hold herself back, to convince herself to stay put and relax, but her body was itching her as if they poured devil beans all over her body. As soon as the clock hit 4 a.m., Ebun jumped off the bed, rushed to the kitchen to get a bucket of water and detergent to wash her husband's car, more like to investigate if there was really a hidden phone inside the car. That early morning, Ebun scattered the whole car. She searched everywhere, shifted the car seats. She even opened the bonnet to check. After hours of searching and searching, she found nothing. It was then she finally heaved a deep sigh of relief. And she laughed to herself. I know my husband is not like this man. My Anthony is a good man. Meanwhile, Anthony woke up from the bed that morning and he couldn't find Ebun anywhere. At first, he thought she was in the kitchen cooking. So he got up and went into the bathroom to shower and started dressing for work. He came out of their master's bedroom to the living room and still couldn't find Ebun. He went to the kitchen, but Ebun was not there. The dining table was empty. Ebun hadn't prepared breakfast. How could she, when she was busy looking for what was not looking for her? Without thinking much, Anthony picked his briefcase and some files and went outside to go to work. But the sight he saw had him in surprise. Ebun was washing his car, something she had never done before. What really shocked Anthony was how Ebun turned the car interior upside down. Ebun, what are you doing? Eh, my husband, the thing is, I forgot my earring inside the car last Sunday. That's my 14 karat gold earring you gifted me. Yes, so I came to look for it and Anna said, let me just help you wash the car. Ebun, you should have told me now to help you look for it. See how you scattered my car and I'm almost late for work. Babe, you can use my car. Let me help you clean this one very well today, Anthony was speechless, but he didn't think much to it. He went to work with Ebun's car. And as Anthony drove off, Ebun waved him with a bright smile of accomplishment on her face. One day, two of Ebun's best customers, Mama Choma and her friend Auntie Mesoma, came to the salon to get their hair done. As Ebun was braiding their hair, Mama Choma began, Hey, my friend, did you hear the news about Brother Bode in the ushering department that got his co-worker pregnant? My sister, the matter shocked me. I was shocked when I heard the news. If you see the brother, he's very gentle and calm. You will never believe he could hurt a fly. Green snake under the green grass, Auntie Mesoma added. Ebun widened her ears like antenna to collect all the saloon gist, and today's gist was about cheating husbands, so her interest was very piqued. My sister, fear men. I heard him and the girl had been dating for years now. Every break time, they would both go to a hotel to enjoy themselves. I heard the girl has done 4 abortions for him, and it was this last one that she refused and opened her mouth wide to talk. Mama Choma said, my sister, it is only God that can save us from men. Oh. You would think your husband is faithful, but you won't know what he is doing behind your back. Auntie Mesoma said, that day, Ebun's ears were filled with hot, spicy gist. But instead of her to enjoy the gist and move on, it triggered something inside her. It triggered her insecurities. Ebu went home that day angry and sad. At who exactly? At everything. She couldn't stop thinking about Mama Choma's gist. What if Anthony had a work girlfriend too? What if another woman gets pregnant for him before her? She had been trying to get pregnant for months now, and nothing was working. All through the whole evening, Ebun kept to herself. She didn't even welcome Anthony cheerfully like she used to. She just served him food and went straight to bed. When Anthony asked what the problem was, she said nothing, that she was fine. You would think Ebu would go to bed and sleep off her sadness, right? But no, she couldn't sleep. She still had to do her night shift. That night, she took her husband's phone and went straight to his WhatsApp. She deleted any unfamiliar female number and blocked them. That night, as she was scrolling through her husband's WhatsApp, her eyes landed on a particular name, Pretty Tasha. I said it, she muttered under her breath. Ebu hurriedly opened the chat, and what she saw shocked her to her bones. The chat from Pretty Tasha said, send me the money. Bam! I have caught him in the act. So this is the small girl he has been messing around with, abi? Ebu clicked on Pretty Tasha's profile. She copied her number and she traced her to her Instagram account. When she saw Pretty Tasha's Instagram account pictures, her heart dropped to her stomach. The girl was fine, with flat stomach and standing breast. But that was not what drove Ebu mad. It was the expensive clothes and wigs Pretty Tasha wore in each of those photos. And when she did further investigation, she discovered that Tasha owned a luxury hair salon where she sold expensive human hair. So this is the small rat that is chopping my husband's money. Since I've been begging him to buy me bone straight, but he has been giving excuses upon excuses. But he has money to be sending to his Pretty Tasha to buy expensive clothes and wigs, abi? I will show them Pepe. I, Ebu, will show them that nobody messes with me. That night, Ebu found Pretty Tasha's address on her bio, and she jotted everything down carefully, preparing to teach her husband's side chick a lesson. The next morning, Ebu didn't say anything to Anthony. She was calm and extra loving that morning. She prepared his favorite breakfast and even packed lunch for him. And as soon as Anthony drove off, Ebu swung into action. She went into their bedroom and wore a very strong jean trouser and t-shirt, and then finished the look with a pair of sneakers. She was going into the battlefield to fight the useless side chick who wants to destroy her home. That day, Ebu drove to Pretty Tasha's shop. When she got there, she pretended to be a customer and asked to see Pretty Tasha. Immediately her eyes landed on Pretty Tasha. Ebu shouted, "Ole! Husband snatcher! So you are the Jezebel sent from hell to confuse my Anthony with your leke waist, abi? You have failed. You think I wouldn't catch you? Ooh! Ole! Husband snatcher! Go and marry your own husband." Pretty Tasha was dumbfounded. She recognized Ebu to be Brother Anthony's wife, but she couldn't understand why she was in her shop accusing her of snatching her husband and embarrassing her in front of her staff and customers. Pretty Tasha tried to explain things to Ebun, that she was in fact misunderstanding things, but Ebun's voice was louder than a megaphone as she screamed and clapped her hand at Pretty Tasha, calling her husband snatcher. It took two hefty men to bundle Ebun out of the shop that day, and before she left, she gave Pretty Tasha a strong message. She knocked off the hairs displayed on the mannequins in the shop, leaving a trail of mess behind her. Ebon returned home with a grin of satisfaction on her face. That evening, she prepared her husband's favorite food, wore a very seductive gown that made a bold statement. She made sure to spray plenty perfume to choke her enemies, and she sat on the couch with a glass of celebratory wine on her hand as she waited for Anthony to return home from work. Later that evening, Anthony returned home from work holding a shopping bag. With anger on his face, he stormed towards Ebun in the living room. Ebun, what nonsense have you done? What has come over you, this woman? Why did you go to Natasha's shop to disgrace yourself? Hold it right there. So your side chick told you I taught her a bitter lesson, Abi? She told you to come and beat me, Abi? I'm ready for the both of you. Anthony stood there, mouth open, in shock. You can't talk again. Cats got your tongue. You think you were smart, but I'm smarter than you. You think I wouldn't find out about your little affair with Pretty Tasha, Abi? I caught you red-handed, Anthony. Anthony heaved a deep sigh of frustration and began in a low voice. Ebun, I don't know what you thought, but Natasha is not my side chick. She's Dayo's younger sister. Dayo, my best friend. She was even at our wedding. Why would you think I'm cheating on you with her? But I saw her message. She said you should send her money. What business are you people doing together, Anthony? Ebun, here, I bought the bone straight you asked for from her. She sells hair, so I decided to patronize her and surprise you. That message was her asking me to send money for the wig, Ebun. Now you have gone to embarrass me and yourself in front of the small girl. You have changed though. Ebun, you were not like this when I married you. It was like cold water was heaped on Ebun. She was shocked at the revelation. My husband, I thought... You thought what, Ebun? Don't use your hand to scatter your home, oh, Anthony said as he walked out on her. That night, Anthony didn't eat dinner. He just went straight to bed as he was too angry at his wife. For the next couple of days, Ebun was calm and quiet like a scolded child. She begged her husband, promising to never repeat such acts again, and Anthony forgave her. But can a leopard ever change its spot? A few months later, Anthony got a promotion at work and was delegated more tasks at work. He started going to work earlier than usual and returned a bit later than before. He spent long hours on calls and Zoom meetings, spent more time on his cell phone, and even went to work on some weekends because he claimed that he was made a supervisor of some big projects in his company. Ebun was happy that her husband got promoted, but Anthony was always preoccupied with something. She couldn't help the thought that Anthony was seeing another woman at work, so she resumed her detective work. And one night, she discovered a particular chat on her husband's WhatsApp. Mrs. Robinson. She found out that her husband was always calling the strange woman, and there were barely any texts between the two. Just calls. Ebun clicked on the profile picture, and Mrs. Robinson was a beautiful and classy woman in her late 40s. Ebun's heart sank. Could there be anything going on between Anthony and Mrs. Robinson? Is this woman trying to snatch a man with her looks and wealth? Ebun thought. That night she couldn't sleep. She needed answers to the questions bothering her, and there was only one way to find out. The next morning, as soon as Anthony drove out from their compound to go to work, Ebun drove right after him, following him all the way to work, and she parked outside his office at some distance, observing, investigating to see who was trying to snatch her husband. Ebu waited in the car wearing only her pajamas all day, forgetting about everything, including her own business. By the close of work, she couldn't find anything suspicious. Her husband never left the office. Ebu quickly rushed home to prepare dinner and freshen up before Anthony would return home and noticed that she was stalking him all day. You would think Ebon would relax now that she couldn't find anything suspicious about her husband's activities at work. But no, the very next day, she got up early, prepared breakfast, and dressed up as if she was going to work early, and she followed her husband to his office. This became a daily routine for Ebun. She abandoned her business and everything just to stalk her husband. When she told her close friend Sade about it, Sade was scared for her. Ebun, you are taking this matter too far. Oh. You mean you follow your husband everywhere just to see if he has a side chick? Ebun, this is wrong. This isn't healthy. You need to see a therapist, Sade advised. But Ebun brushed her advice off. I know what I'm doing, she said confidently. Ebun, don't go and spoil things in your marriage because of this your insecurities. Oh. But Ebun never listened. One day, Ebun traced her husband to a restaurant on a Saturday afternoon, where she found him talking and smiling with a strange woman. I said it. I said it. What is a married man doing at a restaurant with another woman when he should be with his wife at home? She muttered with anger as she gripped the steering wheel. Ebu got down from the car, disguising herself, and she went into the restaurant and sat some distance away from her husband and his mistress, allegedly. She couldn't help the anger she felt, seeing Anthony smiling sweetly at the woman. It was the kind of smile he smiled towards her. Now he was freely sharing it with someone else. Ebu took a closer look, and behold, it was Mrs. Robinson, and that confirmed her suspicions. Mrs. Robinson was trying to seduce and snatch a man. Without thinking, Ebun asked the waiter for a bucket of ice filled with water, and she stomped towards where her husband and his alleged mistress were sitting and dumped the cold freezing water on Mrs. Robinson's head. Without notice, drenching her hair, dress, and the important files placed on the table in front of her. Before Anthony and Mrs. Robinson could react, Ebun started yelling on top of her voice like a village town crier. Husband snatcher, old cargo, stay away from my man. Leave my husband from me, oh old cargo. Go and find your own man. Anthony was frozen in shock and embarrassment. Ebun, what have you done? Ebun, you have finished me. Do you know who she is? Yes, oh, I know who she is. I know she is your side chick that you have been calling and calling for months now. You think I will not catch you? I have caught you right in the act, she said as she clapped her hands dramatically like a market woman. Anthony's face was covered in shame and embarrassment. Mrs. Robinson just sat there in her seat, her entire outfit soaked from head to toe. She couldn't say any words as she was frozen in shock too. After minutes of silence, she began. Anthony, what is the meaning of this embarrassment? Did you bring your wife here to insult and embarrass me? Anthony fell to his knees, shaking in terror. I'm sorry, ma. I'm sorry, ma. This is a very big misunderstanding. Anthony tried to explain. Misunderstanding? Your wife just called me a husband snatcher and poured a bucket of ice all over me. And you call this a misunderstanding? I thought you had great potentials in you for this business, but I can see I was wrong about you. If you cannot coordinate your home, then how can you supervise this multi-billion naira contract? I'm really disappointed, Anthony, and you will hear from HR on Monday morning, Mrs. Robinson said with anger as she stormed out. Please, ma. Please, ma. Anthony tried to beg. Meanwhile, Ebon stood there in shock when it finally dawned on her that Mrs. Robinson was her husband's boss at the office. That day, Anthony just stared at his wife with tears streaming down his face for minutes without a single word. Then he stormed out of the restaurant. Ebu didn't know what to do. She was in big trouble. She shamefully dragged herself out of the restaurant where everybody had witnessed what she had done and entered her car and went home. By the time she got to the house, Anthony was sitting on the floor crying bitterly. "Ebon, I regret the day I married you. I should have seen the signs that you were sick in the head. That woman you just embarrassed is the director of our company. Her husband is the CEO. Ebon, I told you I was given a project worth billions to supervise, and I had to report directly to her on the progress we have made on the project. Ebon, I explained everything to you, but you decided to ruin my life and career. I have had enough. Please go back to your father's house." Ebon fell on her knees, begging with her crocodile tears. But Anthony wasn't having it. She went into their bedroom, packed her clothes into her luggage, and took the luggage to his car. And he bundled Ebon into the car, straight to her father's house. When Anthony got to his in-laws' house, he told them all Ebon had done. "Mama, I'm tired of this marriage. My family will come and collect the bride price we paid. Please forgive me, but I can no longer continue with this marriage." Ebon's parents tried to settle things, but Anthony refused. He was too angry to hear things. He respectfully greeted them and stormed out. It was then Ebon realized that it was over for her. She had ruined her marriage and her husband's career, and she had only herself to blame for it. Ebon tried to reach Anthony to beg for forgiveness, but he didn't pick her calls. She went to their house, but each time the gate man wouldn't let her in. Anthony got suspended from work for 2 months for the chaos his wife caused. Mrs. Robinson took pity on him and decided to just suspend him instead of permanently relieving him of his duty in the office. Anthony was a great staff with a clean record, and he had been a dedicated staff for many years. Ebon went into therapy to get help for her insecurities issue and eventually found that she was pregnant. After 3 months of separation, Ebon's parents and Anthony's parents decided to step in and settle the couple. Since a child was already on the way, their both parents pleaded with Anthony to forgive his wife, and he forgave his wife. He loved Ebon so much, and his life had been miserable without her in the house. When their parents left, Ebon told Anthony she was pregnant, and she told him she had been in therapy for weeks, getting all the help she needed. She vowed to never act like that ever again in their marriage. Anthony told her that he was only suspended at work after the incident at the restaurant, and the couple held each other with joy in their hearts. They had been through a lot, but they were grateful to have found their way back to each other as they looked forward to their future together. Thank you for watching. Hi lovelies, what do you think of this story? If you were Anthony, would you forgive your wife? How would you have handled the situation differently? The moral of this story is that we shouldn't project our insecurities onto our partners. We have been hurt, yes. We have been heartbroken and betrayed before, yes. But that doesn't mean we should turn our partners into punching bag and recipients of all our hurts and traumas and insecurities. Get help if you need to. Heal if you need to before you start a new relationship. We all deserve to be loved and respected in our relationship. What moral have you learned from this story? Let me know in the comment section below. If you are still watching this video up to this point, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so by now. Turn on the bell icon to get notification on our latest releases. And until I bring another juicy and interesting story your way again, bye for now.